girls.
Hi.
How are you feeling in isolation?
Boring.
Yeah. Well, we have a special story time guest today. Do you know who it is?
No. Miss Sloan? Miss Sloan, can you read us a story?
Yes, I can read you a story. I would love to read you a story. Now let's see. It's story time with Miss Sloan, and the book today is called Jazz Age Josephine by Jonah Winter, illustrated by Marjorie Priceman. Dancer, singer, who's that who? Why, that's Miss Josephine Baker to you. See the cover? Isn't it beautiful? Now that's Josephine. All right, here we go. Jazz Age Josephine. People listen to my story about a girl named Josephine. People listen to this story about a poor girl named Josephine. She was the saddest little sweetheart this side of New Orleans. Well, she was born up in St. Louis, and she grew up with those St. Louis blues. Yeah, she was born in old St. Louis, and she grew up singing nothing but the blues. She had one old ragged dress and a pair of worn out shoes. She looked so sad. You see, the shack where she lived, it didn't have no heat. Things were so bad sometimes, there wasn't nothing to eat. She slept down on the floor, newspapers for a sheet, rats crawling around, nibbling at her feet. Josephine, her grandma said, I got a fairy tale for you. Josephine, oh Josephine, this story's about a girl like you. Someday, you're gonna be a princess. You know what Granny says is true. There's Granny telling her the story. Well, that's hard to believe in when kids all act so cruel. To believe in fairy tales, it's so hard when folks are cruel. Ain't nothing left to do but just pretend to be a fool. So, Josephine made funny faces, stuck out her tongue, and crossed her eyes. Yes, Josephine made funny faces, stuck out her tongue, bugged out her eyes, strutted right into a dance tent. And then, to everyone's surprise, she did the grizzly bear. She did the turkey trot. She whipped right through the bunny hop, strutted through the camel walk. She did so many dance steps, it made people holler. And when the dance was over, Josephine got paid $1. Look at her doing all those dances. She kept dancing. She kept dancing, and she never got tired. She kept dancing, she kept dancing. That girl never got tired until one night when her whole world changed. The night St. Louis caught on fire. Well, there were white folks chasing black folks on the black folks' side of town. White folks screaming at the black folks and setting their fire to their town. And the black folks kept on running while their homes burned to the ground. She was only 12. So Josephine, she started running too. She started running on that night. Yeah, she started running. And she started running. And she started running and running. Started running on that night. There had to be someplace better where white folks treat you right. She ran around the country with an old-time traveling show. Yes, she ran around the USA with an outdoor traveling show. doing all her crazy dance steps till it was time to pack up and go. See the shows? But the blues ran right behind her, all the way to old New York. Them nasty blues ran right behind her till the world was cold, dark. She didn't have no friends or money. Slept on a big bench in Central Park. She auditioned for this big show. They told her, beat it, kid. So she went out in the alley, bawled out her eyes, flipped a lid. Well, the director, he took pity, called out her name, had a heart. He put her in the chorus line, and that's how she got her start. Well, look at that chorus line. Josephine, oh Josephine, you know you in the big time now. Josephine, oh Josephine, grown up and in the big time now, making people hoot and whistle every night you take a bite. Well, she wore big baggy pants. She wore black makeup on her face. Each night she wore those big baggy pants, and she wore what people called blackface. As much as all those white folks loved her, it was an insult to her race. That was it for Josephine. She made up her mind. She stopped clowning for those white folks and leave the blues behind. So she jumped on a boat that was headed to France. She was gonna show those French folks how Americans dance. It was the jazz age now, year 1925. Jumping bands, jazzy haircuts. Yes, the good times had arrived. Miss Liberty waved bye-bye as the boat sailed out to sea. And for the first time in her life, Josephine felt free. She felt free. Then, one, two, three, hit it! Gay Perry. Josephine hears an act they never seen. Ooh, boop boop doop doop doobie doo, da 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 boopie doo, ba 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 la la la, doodie doop doop doodie da, see boop ba, Paris, France, instant fame. Everybody knows her name. Boop boop doo, doodie da, la 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 ba ba ba, boom doodie doo, shake, boom doodie doo, shake, zee bop doodie da. Do you see that's jazz? Zee bop doodie doo, jazz, boop bop doodie doo doo za. Panther, camel, who's that? Who? Ostrich, parakeet, kangaroo. Can she dance? That's a fact. Belly to belly and back to back. It's the shake, the shimmy, the mess around. No one sleeps when she's in this town. Can she sing? You sing too. If everything you've ever dreamed of was finally coming true. Like a beautiful song. How wonderful to be adored. Like a princess, like a queen, and to glitter like a diamond. Just the thrill of being seen and known and loved by everyone you pass. How wonderful to be a star, to live in a palace, to keep a goat and a tiger and a monkey as pets, to walk a cheetah named Chiquita through the boulevards of Paris, France. And yet, alas, Josephine is sad. To long for the place where you were born, where you would never live again, imagining how it might have been, not to be scorned for the color of your skin, not to be forced to run away, and yet, drums, beats, bright lights, Josephine is a star tonight. Dressed to the hilt, she is singing a lilt about pretty little baby, that Alabama llama whammy. Bye, bye, blackbird. She ain't singing the blues. She's got nothing to lose. Show after show, she is making a go of it. Dancing the Charleston, begging your pardon, man. Nanners, feathers, and glitter and diamonds. And here comes the end of this fairy tale about Miss Josephine Baker. Now listen, girls, there's a lot to learn about Josephine Baker. She was an icon, a pioneer. She opened lots of doors for women of color, people of color in show business. She was a big star. She fought in the French Resistance during World War II. She spoke on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial with Dr. Martin Luther King for the Million Man March in 1963. She was an amazing person. Learn more about her. And this was Storytime with Sloan, sponsored by the William Grant Still Community Center. Now, go read a book and you won't be bored.